Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about Nintendo finally getting some AAA, some $70 AAA bangers. This is incredible. So, before you guys freak out on Nintendo, remember that you paid $70 for Godfall. You paid $70 for remakes. You paid $70 for lots of games. For Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, you paid $70 for God of War. You paid $70 for Call of Duty. You paid $70 for all these games. And after watching that reveal for the new Zelda game, man, that looked pretty good. That looked pretty quality. That looked pretty quality to me from what I seen. And when I played the first one on the Switch at launch, that was a pretty good game. But you have to understand that, like, man, you guys paid for them. The Sony dudes defended the $70. They were like, yeah, they look great, blah blah blah. And it's like, you know what, man? I did. When I first started this channel, I was pretty much at the point where I was like, no, man, the $70, that's gonna tank sales. That's gonna make it so a lot of people don't get to play. That was my biggest thing against it. Was feeling like that's gonna affect gaming in a negative way. But then, as we've seen, it really hasn't affected gaming too much. Well, a lot of people still aren't being able to buy these games day one. They're still waiting longer. But I mean, there's been some growing pain, but we're definitely getting to a point where more people are we're starting to pay for games. But then you've got games like Forspoken coming out on PlayStation 5 at like 900p. They're like 900p. I'm pretty sure Zelda or the Breath of the Wild is going to run at the same resolution it did on the last as the last game did. So you got to take that into consideration. Like, your new AAA bangers are coming out at 1080p, man. If you want 60 frames a second, we're getting 1080p with a lot of games. We're going to get a lot more this generation as it goes on with these 1080p games. So I don't know, man. I mean, you all freaked out on me when I was talking about Forspoken, saying, that's not a next gen game. It looked pretty dang good. I thought it looked pretty good. On my 1440p monitor, it looks good. Just like the new Zelda game is going to look incredible on my 1440p monitor. It's going to look just fine. But here's the thing. Here's the one thing that I kind of wish that that Nintendo would have done when they announced this game and were bringing it out. I really wish that they were bringing it out on a console at least as powerful as the Xbox Series S, so that you could get more of a like wow factor out of these visuals. Because I'll tell you what, man, the first game kind of fell flat for me a lot of times, but it was still a good experience. I really did like playing that. I wish I would have had my 1440p monitor back when that first came out. I'd have been even happier with that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm going to pay my $70 for it. I'm going to play it because I want to play it. I'm not going to let $10 stand in the way of me playing a game I want to play. If it's something that I want to play, it is what it is, man. But here's the good thing. The one good thing about Nintendo games is they hold their value a lot longer than any of these other games that come out. You go to GameStop a year after a Nintendo game comes out, still full price. You go to trade in that game, you still get a lot more money than you're ever going to get for any Sony or Xbox first party game. Like, you will always get a higher trading credit for anything when it comes to Nintendo. And why wouldn't they charge $70? Nintendo Switch literally just outsold the PlayStation 4. They've sold more Nintendo Switches than the PlayStation 4 sold last generation. So, yeah. I mean, now you see why. I mean, Switch makes a compelling console. They go for a compelling market. That kids want to buy it. I was talking to somebody on Twitter today, and he was talking about how, like, no, to pay $70 for games like Pokemon. And I was like, Junior's a fanboy, man. I asked Junior. I played that Pokemon Violet for about an hour and a half, and I played it. I uploaded all that footage. I played it, and I didn't really see anything completely wrong with it that everybody else was talking about. I didn't have anything popping in or out, or like weird stuff happening. To me, it felt like the average Nintendo Switch game. Like it didn't feel bad or look bad to me. I actually was like, wow, that actually doesn't look too bad. Every time I see a game running on Nintendo Switch and it looks even mildly good, I'm like, okay, that doesn't look too bad. Because I mean, me personally, I'm like, oh, the Switch could do that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, yeah, the Switch is at least as powerful as, like I say, a 360 or a PlayStation 3 or something. I think. But Junior, he's a fanboy. Junior loves Pokemon. He doesn't care. He's not worried about the stuff that we're worried about when we're buying our $500 consoles. And like, just to put things in perspective, if you really want the cream of the crop and like the best you can get, buy a PC. The games are cheaper on PC. They come out at $60, and most of the time you can get them even cheaper with discount codes and stuff like that. So, man, I don't. If quality is what you want, then get a PC. But it's not always, the grass isn't always greener over there either. So I don't know what to tell you guys, man. $70, $70. Yeah, it is a lot more of a stretch. It does have a more negative, like I've said this whole time on this channel, it does have that like, it's like a mental block. That extra $10, you're like, no, I don't want to pay that. And then you're expecting it's like all of a sudden they raise the price $10, and now all of a sudden our expectations are through the roof. Now we're demanding 60 frames a second at 4K and this and all of that. And man, I don't know. Like, we all know that this new Zelda game is going to be a masterpiece. Like, it's going to be a great game. It's going to have tons of gameplay. It's going to have refined systems from the first game. It's going to have refined visuals. Everything about it is going to be better. So, yeah, I'm okay with Nintendo charging me $70 for this game. Because, if I get it and I don't decide to get through it, or I don't want it or something, I can always take it over to GameStop and get a pretty good amount of trading credit back for that one. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like we as gamers this generation, um, we're gonna have to be a little bit more picky and choosy with the stuff that we want to do. And I will try to do my part for you guys. I am only buying games now that I actively want to play. Anything that's coming to Game Pass, depending on the game, man, if I really like it, I'll buy it, not to my collection. But I'm gonna take advantage of my Game Pass. I'm doing what I can to cut back on some spending as well. So, because things are getting tight, so I'm only buying games that I want to buy. So like Forspoken, like Hogwarts Legacy, like the new Zelda game when that comes out. There's a few. I'm getting that Wanted Dead next week. I bought that one already. I already paid for that one. So I'm only buying the games that I want to buy. If they're really good, I'll pick up a second copy on the PC, but I'm going to try to stick with buying the console versions. And then, if it's really good, I'll buy the PC if I really want to see how it's going on the PC. But I'm really trying to watch how I'm doing with my money. And when I do review these games, if it's a game that I actively want, yes, you can. I'm going to, if there's more good for the game, if there's more good things about the game than the bad things, I'm not going to emphasize the bad things anymore, guys. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to be negative about games, because I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be negative about them, because we all, yeah, I don't want to be negative about them, man. It's making me, it's getting to the point where I'm starting to hate doing this sometimes, because I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be toxic. There's plenty of toxic channels out there. They can be toxic. I'm here to try to help us enjoy gaming and help you make, good decisions. And I can be a lot more lenient. I do have a pretty decent job, so I do make pretty good money, most of the time. So, but I'm struggling too with the rising cost of everything too. So don't think that I'm just out here like just buying stuff and being like, oh yeah, I'm just willy-nilly with it. No, man. I told you guys that this year I was going to do spending a lot more time with these games. I'm going to spend a lot more time with them. I'm going to play them more. I'm going to get into them. I'm going to make more content on each game that I buy, so that I can, get a better feel for it, so that you guys can watch. I am very happy with Forspoken. I'm very happy with Hogwarts Legacy so far. I'm really happy with with Dead Space. Like it was pretty dang good. Like I really did like that game. So that's the way we're going this year. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm sorry that our games are going to be $70, but I'll do my best to try to help you save some money. See you guys later.